valuable World Championship points in his attempt to become World Champion for the third successive year. Alain Prost, more than anyone, is aware of the fact that the major problem of this demanding Imola circuit is fuel consumption.
Prost is slowed right down, and Prost is out of fuel. So Prost is, you see him wagging the car. That is to try and shake the petrol into the thing. He's within sight of the line. If he can just limp, he'll make it.
This, then, is the most important instrument in the cockpit, the fuel readout gauge. Now for Pit Bits, a new item in which we will be regularly updating you with all the news, gossip and rumours of Grand Prix racing. And the news from Imola is dramatic indeed. In the first timed practice, Nelson Piquet went out and made the fastest time, only shortly afterwards to have an absolutely colossal crash at over 200 miles an hour on the Tosa Bend. Amazingly, he got out of the car. He was taken to hospital for observation overnight. He came back to the circuit yesterday and looked very fit and cheerful and was ready to race.
What I remember, the car went complete sideways. And after that, I tried to close my eyes. I feel I don't have any problem. I have a little problem with my ankle, my left ankle, but I think I can manage this for the race tomorrow.
But the official view from Professor Sid Watkins, the medical advisor to the sports governing body, said no drive for Piquet. On the tyre front, it's been all action too, because yesterday, Goodyear, the sole supplier to Grand Prix racing, dramatically withdrew all the tyres that they had originally issued and replaced them with new ones.
This was because, Murray, yesterday during practice and qualifying, our engineers identified a situation developing in the tyre which they were not happy with. We felt it would have been wrong to go ahead, and the responsible thing for Goodyear to do was to bring new tyres, which we had in Wolverhampton, fortunately.
There's good news from the Tyrrell team. The news that Jonathan Palmer has signed a full-year contract to drive for them. And there's very good news for the French Ligier team. They had lost their Italian Alfa Romeo engines, but after a frantic scramble, they've been able to replace them with Megatron BMW motors. And finally, at Imola, there are two completely new cars in the 3.5-litre category. The new Lola, driven by Frenchman Philippe Alliot, and the new March, driven by Italian Ivan Capelli. So, in pole position, Ayrton Senna in the Lotus Honda, and just behind him, second on the grid, Nigel Mansell in the Williams Honda. Third on the grid, Alain Prost. Then Theo Fabi in the Benetton Ford. Fifth on the grid is Gerhard Berger, his first drive for Ferrari in Italy. In sixth position, Michele Alboreto, Berger's teammate. Seventh is Riccardo Patrese. Eighth is Stefan Johansson. In ninth place, Eddie Cheever in the Arrows Megatron. And in 10th position, Derek Warwick in the second Arrows. Martin Brundle is in 15th place on the grid in the Zack Speed. And Jonathan Palmer is 24th on the grid in the Tyrrell Ford. You look at the completion of the second parade lap, because after the first parade lap for the San Marino Grand Prix, when they lined up on the start, a number of drivers stopped their engines and the start was aborted before it even happened. So now here is Senna in the first car with active suspension in the history of Grand Prix racing to be in pole position, leading up the grid, with Nigel Mansell forming up behind him, Prost in third place, and Theo Fabi in fourth position. And non-starters are Nelson Piquet after his Friday crash, and René Arnoux with suspension problems in the warm-up this morning.
And the forecast this weekend has been rain, but there's been no sign of it up till now. But the weather looks slightly threatening.
And the race is now going to be over 59 laps. And the fuel consumption problem is going to be even greater. by Prost, and the two Ferraris with Alboreto just nosing ahead of his teammate Gerhard Berger. Senna, Mansell, Prost as they come up towards the 200 miles an hour stretch, which leads to the Rettifilio and then to the second gear, 95 miles an hour left-hander at Tosa, just before which Nelson Piquet went off in his crash. And it's Senna, followed by Mansell. Prost is third. Alboreto is fourth. Gerhard Berger in the Ferrari is in the fifth position. They stream round now, and up from the Tosa, it is an uphill section towards the Piratella, then down to the Acqua Minerale, which is where they are now. Now they go up through third, fourth, and fifth gears, all of them through the Acqua Minerale, and Mansell is crowding all over Ayrton Senna's gearbox, trying to hassle him for the lead on the first out of 59 laps, as you see Boutsen followed by Brundle.
Yes, Mansell will be very keen to get past Senna early in the race. Senna was not very happy with his car in race trim today. I think it's still, of course, in relatively early stages of development of this active suspension system that they've got. And Mansell will be keen to get past him and use Senna as maybe a little bit of a hold-up, a buffer for Prost. So this is where Mansell will be looking to do it, to get a slipstream. And Nigel may well have hit his boots button there, and through he goes to take the lead.
Mansell, Senna, Prost third, then Alboreto fourth, Berger fifth, there's Patrese in sixth position, followed by Fabi, then Johansson, and Mansell now setting out to build a cushion. He'll have to be watching his fuel counter very carefully, but the Honda engine is extremely fuel efficient. It's probably the best of the turbo engines. There's Nelson Piquet doing a bit of commentating in the top left corner of your screen, probably ruining, I'm sure, the fact that he's not in the race, and a bit worried about the fact that his teammate is leading. Senna second, Prost third, then Alboreto and Berger. Sixth place is Patrese, seventh is Fabi, eighth is Johansson, Warwick in ninth, and has got Thierry Boutsen right behind him in 10th position, and Prost goes through to take Senna. This is highly significant. Don't forget that Prost has won this race for the last 3 years, although only 2 of them were allowed to count. And he loves the Imola circuit, as he might well do. And as far as British drivers are concerned, we have Nigel Mansell in the lead. Derek Warwick is in 9th position. Martin Brundle is in 12th place. And Jonathan Palmer in the 3.5 litre Tyrrell is in 20th position.
And Prost has put up the fastest lap of the race so far, and looks to be getting very much into his stride. So can Mansell respond? He'll be getting the signals that Prost has started to close slightly.
Prost's fastest lap so far of 1 minute 31.7 compares with the lap record by Nelson Piquet, 1:28.6. And there in the pits, one of the Minardi's is Nannini's car, and it's getting cooler, I can tell you that. Ginzani, into the pits comes Nakajima, as you look at Senna, Alboreto, Berger, still third, fourth, fifth, Patrese there, still sixth. The leading 3.5 litre car is Jonathan Palmer in the Tyrrell, and there's the race leader, and that is Alain Prost, now 2.7 seconds behind Mansell. And Senna is staving off the Ferrari. And Alboreto goes through to take Ayrton Senna. Now we can expect to see him pull away. It's going to be the familiar story too of it's one thing catching up, it's another getting past, and once you have, you can whisk away. Look at the crowd, they love this.
It'll be interesting to see how quickly Berger can deal with Senna.
That was De Cesaris touring in.
Looks like Berger's got right alongside Ayrton Senna. And in fact, Berger got in front too soon. And here we see a spin that looks like the Cesaris, and that would be the reason probably for his limping in. So not an unfamiliar sight, seeing the Cesaris spinning. Berger has dropped right back from Ayrton Senna.